Ange has been speaking in his press conference, and what have we got?
Yeah, so when it comes for Tottenham, no new injury news, which is pretty positive. Dragoshin obviously remains out until next season. Kulusevski, fairly positive. He said he's back in training. He won't be available for the weekend, but he is touch and go for Frankfurt. Won't start, he said, but he's touch and go whether he can be involved. And Kevin Danso, I don't think he mentioned Danso, but he mentioned him yesterday, saying that he's not going to be available, similar to Kulusevski, might be available for the second leg, but not available for this weekend. So in terms of any new injuries, nothing to report. Obviously, we spoke about Odebear yesterday. A lot of worry about him being out and hamstring injury. A lot of people saying I've heard rumours he's done his hammy. Paul O'Keefe said he had a scan yesterday, but he was obviously on the bench yesterday, and he said he's okay. But he bemoaned obviously the leaks of the injury news and saying someone's working against us and people are leaking injury news. So that's been obviously a big talking point. But in terms of actual injury news, no new injuries, thankfully.
Yeah, and look, it's positive that Dejan Kulusevski's back in training. So
yeah, really good.
That's the main kind of takeaway from the injury news, is that Decky is back in training.
And he also mentioned about changes for this weekend. He said he said there will be some changes, he said. And he said we have to look forward as well to Thursday, because I think he's kind of saying he's going to make more changes in view to Thursday rather than last week, because it could go to extra time, he was saying. So we're going to need a bit more out of these players on Thursday potentially. So he's going to make some changes. He also said some players, they just need the game time. Yeah. I wonder who he's talking about. We'll theorize when we do the lineup, but he did say there are some players who are going to play because they just need the game time. All
right, well, let's get into it. 4-3-3 as per usual. Is there a chance for Kinski to start this game this weekend?
We say it every week. Again, if he's not going to start,
every week I'm like certain in my mind Vicario's starting, but I think there is actually a genuine chance that Kinski could start.
I would like to see Kinski. I mean, there's not any reason to, because we know for goalkeepers they don't really get tired, so it's not like a thing.
Play.
I agree with you. I agree. He has come to play. So I'm surprised. If I was Kinski, I would be a bit frustrated I haven't got any game time, to be honest. I would, because I guess, look, I think if you're Ange, maybe you'd argue he did make a few mistakes when he was there, and Vicario is just so much more reliable, which is probably true. But when he came, he was number one at Slavia, obviously, and he probably came being told he would get some game time, and obviously he did get some game time immediately. But obviously, I don't think when he came, he was told he was going to be left out the European squad. I reckon he was told he was going to be put in it. But circumstances obviously changed, and he ended up being left out. So,
but what circumstances did actually change regarding him being in the Europa League squad? Like, how could he have been in it?
Because there was a few more injuries, which meant, like, for example, we had to bring in maybe a different kind of player. Different players in January because of injuries, which meant we had to make space for them somehow, I think. And I think Kinski would have been in it. I can't remember exactly who in the January window. There was Tell, Danso came in. Obviously, Kinski came in. Forster was obviously left out as well. I think the plan was probably to replace Forster with Kinski. But then because Tell came in and because Danso came in and we picked up even more injuries than anticipated, probably the circumstances changed and it meant Kinski had to be left out.
Well, anyway, is Kinski going to play, or is it going to be Vicario?
I think Vicario probably will play.
So we'll put Vicario in. I agree with you. Vicario comes.
But I would like to see Kinski play. I would like to see him because I think he deserves another run out.
All right, so Vicario in goal. Now, the back four is an interesting one. Spence obviously didn't start. I do think a doggy comes out for this game.
Well, he was cramping, wasn't he? So
I actually got a feeling it's going to be Archie Gray at right back.
Yeah, I've also got that feeling because first of all, he was saying certain players just need the game time. He must be talking about him because he didn't play at all, did he? Yesterday,
yeah, he hasn't played for a while,
and he hasn't played. He came on against
in terms of from the start,
started against Fulham, which wasn't that long ago, was it? Fulham,
yeah, true.
So but I think he just needs more game time, and I think fullback, put him a right back. And I think Porro and Doggy put in a lot of effort in yesterday. So I do think probably Spence and Gray come in here. And Spence probably goes left back.
Yeah, Spence left back.
Unless it could be Gray left back and Spence right back, but it probably won't be.
Yeah, I think Spence left back and Gray right back. Centre back, I don't think Van de Ven plays this game.
Again, he said yesterday he was cramping.
Yeah, he was cramping towards the end of the game. So I
So-
think one certainty is Romero, right centre back. I think he does play.
Well, I was going to say one side it was Davis, I guess.
Well, the other, and Davis, will be the other one that plays.
unless he rests Romero. Who
I
has
don't
played
think
a lot.
he has played a lot, but I don't think he'll rest him because if Danso was here, then I would agree. But we don't have kind of the options. So I think Romero pretty much has to play this game.
The only thing you could do is put Archie in the centre and play Porro, but then you're not resting Porro. So it's
So I think this will be the back four. I think it'll be Gray, Romero, Davis, and Spence. Moving into the midfield options, I do think Bentancur gets a rest because he's played a lot of minutes recently. I would like to see Bergvall get a rest as well. Bissouma probably starts.
Yeah, again, another player maybe he's talking about who's not been playing a lot. Maybe needs the minutes. So, but is he going to make are we going to see like 11 changes? I guess Romero's not one of Vicario. Okay, so I guess we're going to put Bissouma in. Unless Bergvall plays there, can't really see it. Unless Gray plays there and Porro plays at right back. Which
I think it'll be Bissouma.
All right, we're putting Bissouma in the 6th position. Sarr, I think, for sure.
Yeah, Sarr in the 8.
Sarr in the 8, and then...
And it'll be Bergvall. It's got to be Bergvall, because Maddison does not play this game. He's played 3 games in the space of a week. There is no chance Maddison plays
he came
this.
off early.
It's got to be Bergvall. I think he's the only one that can play.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anyone else. Obviously, if Decky was there, he would have a chance. Kind of has to be Bergvall. I saw one person suggest maybe we should give Mikey Moore a run in the number 10, but I don't know. In this
Wouldn't
kind
mind
of game.
seeing it, but I don't think it will happen.
Has he played 10 before?
Mikey,
Yeah.
I think at youth level maybe, but not at any sort of decent level. So I think, the midfield 3 of Bissouma, Sarr and Bergvall. On the right, I think Tell plays left wing.
Yep, I agree with that. Tell comes in on the left. Now, does Richie start? Had a few minutes against Frankfurt. Is that enough? Is that enough minutes for him to start the game?
I would like to say yes, but I'm just not sure if he's ready for a start yet. That's the only problem. I think if Richarlison had a few more minutes behind him, I'd be more confident putting him in. I'd like to say he will start, but I'm just not sure. I'm a bit hesitant to say it.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking maybe an hour of Solanke and then Richarlison comes in potentially. But I'd like to see Richarlison just give him the go. And actually, if he does well, he could even potentially win a spot for Thursday. But I think he does like to play Solanke a lot as well. Solanke's just one of those players he doesn't worry about getting tired.
Yeah, I think put Solanke in and Richarlison will get some decent minutes off the bench.
So is it Brennan or Odebear? Or Mikey Moore even?
I think it'll be Odebear.
Or Timo Werner?
Nah.
Timo's finished.
I think it'll probably be... It could be Brennan within line to play Odebear on Thursday.
You reckon?
Could potentially be that. Because we know that Odebear did have a problem with his hamstring. So is it risky putting him in from the start in this game?
Yeah, but he was on the bench. But yeah, he clearly
didn't get any minutes, though.
Didn't get any minutes.
I'll probably say Brennan, to be honest.
We're going to go Brennan again. But he did play 90 minutes, though, didn't he, Brennan? Didn't come off on Thursday. Okay. We're going to go Brennan Johnson on the right.
So this is the team that we're going for Wolves away. Vicario in goal. Archie Gray right back. Jed Spence at left back. Centre back position. Romero and Ben Davis. Bissouma, Sarr and Bergvall in the midfield 3. Brennan on the right. Tell on the left. And Solanke up top. I mean, there's still quite a few changes, but not a whole host of changes, I guess. How many is that? So that's Tell, Sarr, Bissouma, Davis, I guess Spence and Gray, but I mean Spence.
6 changes from Thursday.
Yeah.
6 changes from Thursday, yeah. Which is a pretty good amount.
6 changes, but actually, when you look at the changes, the only changes that actually are players that are not playing like regularly week in, week out is Davis, Gray, Bissouma. Everyone else you like, and Tell.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone else is, yeah.
Everyone else is a fully first team, like, you know what I mean?
All right. Yeah, and then obviously we've got some decent players off the bench if we need them.
Yeah.
All right, that's our predicted lineup.
All right, that is our predicted lineup.